Hi, this is Phil and Andy from SkiTalk.com, and we have the all-new Lange Shadow series of boots that we'll be talking about in this video. Now, Andy's had a chance to spend some time in this boot. So, Andy, let's start with your impressions of the boot.
Well, I've never been in a Lange before.
Okay.
So, before anybody asks, no, I don't have any comparisons to older Langes. I found the boot to be, it's very comfortable. Right out of the box, I had no problems with it. Super, super easy to get in and out of. Granted, it was a warm day. We were skiing at Palisades in the spring, but even after coming off the snow, it was really easy to get off. I had no problem at all. So those were the first initial things that I found with it is, you know, people look for the comfort, and it fit really well. Heel hold is good. I think it's the low volume version. It's a generous low volume. The heel is snug, but the forefoot, like other models, other brands, they're starting to figure out you don't need that totally compressed forefoot for a recreational performance boot. So that's nice. It allows your toes to spread out. And
as far as comparisons to previous generations of Lange, the Shadow boot in the collection replaces the RX collection. Now the RS, which is the race derived series, is still in the line. Of course, they've got their full race series, which is the Z series of boots. But this is basically their high performance consumer level recreational boots.
Right, an all mountain, do everything well boot.
So they did a really good job with this new series of boots, and I think fitting that need. Again, as far as the fit, we're finding that we're seeing a lot of these volumes being a little more generous than what the numbers really describe them out as far as being a 97 millimeter wide boot.
Right.
That it is a little more generous in that forefoot area, but they're getting very good containment in the back half of the boot, which really is the most important part of the boot to get that energy transfer to the ski.
Right, over into your heel and over the vamp of your foot, it holds well while still letting your forefoot expand comfortably.
Now, we have some unique technologies that are in this boot that we're seeing that really is new for Lange, and that is the dual pivot design here, which connects the cuff and the clog together, and also the blade up the back of the boot. And what that means is that lower clog of the boot, the lower half of the boot, actually has a spine that comes up further for a little bit better connection. And then as far as the dual pivot design, as far as reactionary feel. Now, you had mentioned when we were out on snow that the boot felt a little bit softer than what you're used to.
Right, it felt soft for a 130. Again, it was warm out. But what I did notice is the transmission of power as you flex into the boot. It doesn't take as much to get the result that you're used to. So, and that's one of Lange's claims is this dual pivot technology allows for less effort to get the same result, which, you know, that's a couple extra runs at the end of the day.
It could be, yep. And then also we have some new technologies in the liner that we're seeing, a little bit derived from that with Lange. And that is, as far as the technology there,
auxetic flex, I guess, or stretch. I don't know if you can see it, but there's cutouts in the exterior of the liner. And what that's supposed to do is, as the liner stretches one way, it doesn't compress the other way. It stretches that way. So if you think of like a piece of rubber, when you pull on a piece of rubber, it gets longer this way, but it also compresses that way.
It's basically just a four-way stretch for the liner.
Right. So you don't get pinch points as the liner stretches one way or the other.
I thought that was really good in that inherent design also. Getting back as far as from a boot fitter standpoint, as far as working on the boot, something that I appreciate, one, when you get into the upper levels of boots, that we have buckles here that are screwed on, that we can take a boot the boot apart completely, something that we do like to see when we're working on a boot. Flex is available on it. On the men's side is going to be a 110, 120, 130, both
and
available.
100.
And a 100, available in low and medium volumes. And on the women's side, starting at an 85 flex, going up to a 115. And again, a low volume and a medium volume. Also, the lug design on it. Grip walk is standard coming out of the box with the boot, but which means it's also compatible with Cantology shims on there. So if you do need canting, leg length discrepancy and such, we do have the Cantology strips that are already in place for the boots that will work with them too.
Right. So it's easily customizable for the skier's needs. So that's a good thing for those of us who do like a little bit of canting.
Yep. So as far as with the fit of the boot, and we're seeing this with some brands, and Lange has been proponent of it, is we talk about the generosity in the fit up front. When Lange sets the sizing of their boots, the back half of the boot is fairly static, and they adjust and accommodate the forefoot. It's not that the whole boot expands out in width. Right. They pretty much work off of that forefoot area. So we still get that good containment in the back half of the boots.
Right. So if you're in a medium volume boot now or a high volume boot now, you may want to take a look at this boot in the medium volume.
Yep.
Since there is no high volume per se offered, the medium may be workable for a current high volume foot.
Yeah, and I'm sure for 24-25 season, we are going to see the HV version of this. They're smart. They started off with the meat of the market, which is that LV and that MV series of boots. So they did a really good job with this new collection. And I do like that dual hinge design. When I tried the boot on, unfortunately, they did not have my test size. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons that we got this boot here for you, that it was available in that test size for you. On that note also is Lange did a little bit of a change from their traditional 296, 306, 316, and they shortened the shell a little bit on these boots here, and now we're down to a 313
in a 27 and
a half. 27 and a half shell, which means that they're keeping that interior volume length the same, staying with the dual core that we just had recently in their current generation of boots, that they're able to get the boot more efficient in the size in the boot. And we also see a very prominent heel pocket here. So we're getting more room inside the boot with a little bit shorter of exterior sizing.
Exactly, and which transfers to shorter binding mount points, yep, which transfers to better skiing. So,
a little more quickness in that.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a boot next year, this is a really good consideration for you. If you have trouble fitting into a low volume or you find yourself a little bit in between sizing, this is a boot, the new Lange Shadow series, that should be on your short series of boots. Sorry, short list of boots that you should be trying. Mm-hmm. So a boot that when you go see a fitter, ask them to try it on. If it works for you, great. If not, there are some other options for you out there. A lot of new boots coming for the 23-24 season. So we got a fun boot here to play with, because in the end, skiing is fun.
Don't forget, y'all, skiing is fun. Keep the FU in fun. I'm taking the elevator down.
To read the full review of this ski, please go to SkiTalk.com and click on the review tab.
Please also hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more reviews and other ski-related content, and add thoughts in the comment section below.
Of course, follow SkiTalk.com on all of our social media channels.
No posts or comments were moderated during the production of this video.